The Toronto Blue Jays have a golden opportunity tonight against the New York Yankees. And truthfully, from an outside neutral perspective, they haven't even been fully unlocked offensively. I'll explain why, and I'll explain how well they have been playing over the past month or so on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Welcome in, everybody, to 3 Up, 3 Down. The Toronto Blue Jays have won 3 in a row against the New York Yankees, 4 wins in a row globally, and they are looking for the 4-game series sweep tonight. First pitch just after 7 o'clock Eastern time. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But what a game yesterday. The Blue Jays had an 8-0 lead at one point. You couldn't even bet on the Yankees to win the game, and then they relinquished that. Aaron Judge hit a game-tying home run in the 8th inning, in the top of the 8th inning against Jimmy Garcia, who was coming off the injured list, tied it 9-9, and Blue Jay fans were worried. Oh no, could this be the end of the hot streak? Could this be the start of a cold streak? Who stepped up in the bottom of the 8th inning? It was Addison Barger. It was the guys that have been doing it all season long. George Springer, Barger, Vladdy, those guys had themselves an inning in the bottom of the 8th, and the Blue Jays ultimately came out victorious. Jeff Hoffman coming out for the save, who has been great in the month of June. Hopefully he can carry that over into the month of July. But Addison Barger has been the story of the season for the Blue Jays alongside George Springer. His power and his thump in the middle of that lineup has truly been something to witness. And if you look at his advanced analytics, he is an analytical darling. His bat speed, his exit velocity, they are all off the charts. And Addison Barger is not only becoming one of the best players on the Blue Jays, he's becoming one of the best young players in the game of baseball with his power potential, with his cannon of an arm in the outfield and at third base, and it has been so much fun to watch. So the Blue Jays now find themselves 10 games over 500, and I'll tell you this, Vladdy and Bo Bichette have not even hit their hot streaks yet. Vladdy is hovering at around an 835, 840 OPS. Bo slightly under 800, which is below his career average. But those guys haven't even had one of their patented hot streaks yet that have made them some of the more consistent hitters in the game of baseball over the past few years. And yet the Blue Jays are still 10 games over 500, having won 4 in a row and looking for a series sweep tonight against the New York Yankees. That's how impressive this squad has been. And it's been guys like George Springer, Addison Barger, Ernie Clement, and Alejandro Kirk that have been keeping them afloat offensively. Now, you might be wondering, how sustainable is this, especially if Vladdy isn't having a Vladdy kind of season? Well, I'll tell you what. Vladdy finished with around a 950 OPS last year, finished 6th in MVP voting. He was one of the best hitters in baseball down the stretch of the season. But in the first half, in the first 96 games of the year before the All-Star break, Vladdy had an OPS of 818. He was not really tearing the cover off the ball, and he had only had 14 home runs up until that point of the season. But the second half is where things got serious. In the final 65 or so games of the year, Vladdy had an OPS over 1.1. He had 16 home runs in the second half. And then he ended up with an OPS of 950 on the season. He was tearing the cover off the ball. Unfortunately, it was too little too late for the Blue Jays. But the truth remains that he's one of the best hitters in baseball. And we haven't even seen him hit his stride yet, but the numbers still look pretty good for a guy who hasn't had a breakout day yet. We're waiting. We are waiting for Vladdy to become an MVP again, and it will happen at some point this season. He is going to carry this offense at one moment in time, but it hasn't happened as of yet. But as we're waiting for that, it has been Addison Barger, who has 10 home runs on the season. It has been George Springer, who leads the team in home runs. Alejandro Kirk hitting over 300. Same thing with Ernie Clement. Those guys have been shouldering the load on the offensive side. And Vladdy, we're waiting for a patented breakout here, and it's going to happen. Once the weather warms up that much more, he is and the games get bigger, Vladdy is going to elevate to that moment. And I cannot wait. Let me know in the comment section down below, what kind of second half do you think Vladdy will have? And that will allow the Blue Jays to be unlocked fully offensively. I mean, they're really tearing the cover off the ball right now. But when Vladdy gets going, watch out, folks. Watch out. It is going to be something to behold. Let me know in the comment section down below what kind of second half you think Vladdy is going to have. And also, let me know if you think the Blue Jays are going to complete the sweep tonight against the New York Yankees. Chris Bassett on the mound, Clark Schmidt for the Yankees. I mean, it got a little too close for comfort yesterday for the Blue Jays. They had a very comfortable lead, but they relinquished it, and they allowed the Yankees a way back into the game. Shout out to Davis Schneider as well for hitting 2 home runs last night. What a day at the office he had. He has been great since getting recalled, and hopefully he can stick at the major league level, because the vibes when Davis Schneider is hitting are immaculate. That'll wrap it up for this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Thank you all so much for making it this far, and I'll see you all tomorrow.